my mind that no matter what, I gotta win. That's why it's always me and never
And a big leg with a mile-high air. There's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. Play action. Now it's Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game. Watching him try to take away that area of the field.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They'll set up a throw. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 46. On play action, it's Carr. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Texans are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jackson running again. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The keeper there turning into a big play of 23 yards, and it moves the sticks. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And a good burst there right from the start as he'll get this one out near the 35. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
2nd down, they go right back to Cook. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep.
Now, they did get a little gain on this play, but all in all, a nice job defensively against the touch pass. They were able to string it out towards the sideline and never let him get the corner and turn it upfield for a bigger chunk of yardage.
Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5. Back to the ground, Cook. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Play action. Now Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. Butker's kick here is good, and it's now 3-0 Texans. Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there, all the things that have gone on, and the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their second drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the table there their last time out, but boy, they have to thank their defense for holding the opposition just 3 after they threw the pick. Their turn now. Back out on the field, put together a good drive, and get some points of their own.
A good gain on first has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now first carry for the former Pro Bowler, Josh Jacobs. And he's going to have a Broncos first down. His good running gets him to about the 44. The Broncos had 0-1 in the year following the loss in the opener. And listen, they knew last week they were in for a tough fight on the road. But now here's the home opener and a chance to get things right.
And I like the way that you presented that, because the bottom line is they didn't come out of that loss discouraged. They just came home and said, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do, protect our home turf, we'll be just fine.
On first down, Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
First down catch there by Jahan Dotson. You get the sense watching him that his ascent is only just beginning. More catches, yards, and touchdowns every year at Penn State, and played his way into the first round. A tremendous athlete. He also runs routes.
Touchdown, Texans! John Ross, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys are able to extend their lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead grows to 10-0.
Michael Dixon set to kick off.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Jacobs. Oh, and that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line. 41 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be 2nd and a couple. From the gun, it's Carr. Delivering another one here to Darren Waller. He's got it again. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Chase Claypool from 13 yards out. And the Broncos are back within a score.
The catch and the touchdown, they were the end result of a terrific route run by the receiver.
Myers connects on the PAT. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime. If you're a good football team, you spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments, prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down.
Well, he shot in, CD, like he was out of a cannon from that linebacker position. And even though they had a running back in the backfield, no one could stop him.
Well, you certainly diagnosed that play perfectly because as fast as he got into the backfield, you're exactly right. The running back had no shot to get over and try and protect his quarterback, and a sack resulted.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they... And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They felt they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them, and they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here's Cook again.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. They'll run with Cook. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Quick strike out wide by Jackson. Touchdown! J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. His second touchdown on the season. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Butker now to add the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7.
Makes the score Texans 17. Broncos 7. Michael Dixon set to kick off.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Picked up by Keanu Neal.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Jackson. He finds Pickens over the middle.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Partner, when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground and how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4.
They'll go option to the short side.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again.
They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown.
Dalvin Cook.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Texans would extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Michael Dixon set to kick off.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw taken in here by Chase.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Carr now on first down. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, so far, little to no resistance by the defense on this drive alone. 3 passes, 3 completions, 3 first downs. They're taking it to them, and it's paying off.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. The final shot here before half for Carr. Got a man, it's Darren Waller. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They run it again with Cook. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On second down, Cook.
And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
No, that's you, partner. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he'll take this up to about the 7- or 8-yard line.
And that run, that changes the whole mentality about the drive right there. They were starting on their own 2-yard line. They just wanted enough space to punt the football successfully. Now they're talking about putting together a drive.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing now is Carr. And my goodness, another interception. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD.
And, Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Carr. And now here's another interception.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
That was nice work there defensively to force the incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Jackson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though this, it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great, too.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a 1-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable. And that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Now, Carr again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. But to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I'll give them credit winning that first snap and forcing an incompletion. They're hoping that'll deflate the offense a little bit if they took the field charged up after taking over after a turnover.
2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action in Denver. Jackson, he's going to keep it himself.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. The quarterback run good for 10 that time, but it does lead to a 3rd down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Being chased out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Credit the sack there to Arden Key.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now Jackson. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan.
And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this third quarter of play. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr over the middle to Smith. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
That's caught by Waller out left side. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
There it is, a staple of most teams' playbooks, the angle route. A lot of times you want to take away that inside route by a back, but when they sell it like he's going to the flat, that is tough on inside linebackers. One false step, and that ball's completed.
From midfield, here's Carr. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Darren Waller, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Broncos get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will shave a bit off the lead as it's down to a 23-point game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too. That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Jackson looking to throw on third. And, oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up fourth down. Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Carr. Dancing to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. Carr to throw again. Looking here for Smith downfield. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Forced out to his left. And his throw here's incomplete. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player in the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Now Carr, got to have this one. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Texans are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the gun on third down, Jackson. And, oh, that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up fourth down. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
Throwing on first down is Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Looking to throw again on second down. Carr. This is Smith with a grab. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out.
Alexander Johnson there on the stop.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Texans, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco.
Spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat go ham, no time for cold cuts. The game like big pitch came to join up. Yeah, I'm still independent, ain't sold a million records yet. Used to be on my checklist, big diamonds don't need a necklace. Look, we built the sound like it's double speed Tetris. I cannot build without God in it. We built the sound, you can't copy this. I never brag, it's just confidence. I never rap for your compliments. I wrote this one for the indie grind. If you ain't signed on the dotted line, can't buy my soul with no dollar signs. The industry so full of troglodytes. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. No, I will not bend. Gang time in it. I don't follow trends.